Hello, dear students. Welcome to grammar class. Even today, we would be learning the chapter 9 simple past and the past continuous tense. So, in our previous video, in our previous class, that is in our previous explanatory videos, we have learned the what is strong verbs and what is weak verbs, right? Now you all know what are strong verbs, or we can say irregular verbs, or we can say weak verbs, which are also known as regular verbs. So as you can see in the slide, regular verbs are formed by adding ed, by adding d, and by adding ied. This is how we get our regular verbs. Now, even irregular verbs, there are four ways to form the irregular verbs. And remember, like I told you, there is no other way to, like, it is irregular verbs are not formed like the way regular verbs are formed. Okay, the only way you can learn these irregular verbs is to learn by heart. Okay, memorize. You just have to memorize it. I'm very sorry for the background because my room is just next to the road. That's why, like, the sounds are, like, it's just disturbing. So anyways, like I said, irregular verbs, I divide this into four groups. Group 1, all three verbs forms are same. Group 2, simple past and past participle form. Group 3, same base and past participle form. Group 4, all three forms are different. Okay, so now we will go into our topic for today. That is this one. Okay, I have a look at the slide. The four models. Now we know what are modals, right? We have learned this one. So these four modals, shall, will, can, may, also have their past form. So even these four modals can also have their past form. Remember the three forms of verb, right? Present tense, past tense, and the past participle, right? So even these four modals, shall, will, can, and may, they're in the present tense, and the past form, it can also form their past tense. That is, shall, should. Okay, should is a past. Will, would, can, could, may, and might. But one thing you have to remember is they do not have no past participle form. Okay, these models do not have their past participle form. The primary auxiliary be, the form of be, remember? The one we have already done this, is, am, are, was, were. Okay, these are the form of be. So the verbs of be forms separately depending on the person and number of the subject. Now in this form of be, we cannot use it. There are, like, if because the form of be depends on the number of the subject, right? If it's a singular, then we use singular. If it's plural, then we use plural form, right? So first person in the picture, you can see I have taken this out from a textbook. Even you can refer to your textbook if you want in page number 70. Okay, so past tense form of be. So even there we can form the past tense form. Okay, from the be form, that is singular. If it was, then in the past tense it would be where. If it's where, singular person also, plural also, it's where. Third person was where. Okay, this is how we use. Now keeping in mind, we can now double it the second and third form of the verb be. Base, the form of be, the present tense is be. Okay, the present tense of be is be. The past tense of be is was or were, depending on the subject, whether it's singular or plural. And the past participle of be is been. Okay, I hope this is clear. Even though it's plural or singular, the past participle will be been. Okay. So The primary auxiliary do, we can call it as a strong verb. Okay, remember this the table, we have done this already in chapter 7. This table, the form of be, have, and do. Can you see? Yes. So the form of do, okay, the do, we can call it as a strong verb because it these are irregular verbs. It does not follow a fixed pattern. If you have a look at the do form of do, if you look at the three verb, do, does, if it's plural, do, singular, does. Okay, in the past tense it would be did, and in the past participle it's done. So they are not following a fixed pattern, so we can call it the form of do as a strong verb, and we can call the form of have as a weak verbs, because have or has, have in the plural, has in the singular, we just have to change with had and had. Again, see, so it is following a pattern, right, a fixed pattern. So we can say that the form of have can be called as a weak verb, and the form of do can be called as a strong verb. I hope this is clear. Okay.